welcome to a news recap on EyesofAfrikaTV, where we bring you news amid headlines through the week. I'm Tosi Adeye.
Yesterday, the people of Edo State went out to choose their new governor. From small villages to bigger towns, they gathered at polling stations ready to cast their votes. However, the excitement was mixed with tension as there were allegations of vote buying and selling. So far, INEC had counted votes from 16 out of 18 local government areas. The APC is in the lead with 244,549 votes, while the PDP has 195,959 votes. But the election is not over yet. Two important local government areas, Oredo and Ikpoba Oka, has yet to announce their results. Sensing the anxiety, INEC paused to take a break and says they would reconvene at 5 p.m. to finish the collation. As everyone waited, all eyes are turned to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, wondering who would win in this tightly contested election.
Moving on, in the heart of Lagos, where commerce and industry intertwine, a new chapter in Nigeria's fuel story unfolded. Dangote now sells fuel at 898 naira per litre as NNPC begins lifting petrol from refinery. Recall that the NNPCL began loading last Sunday after moving about 300 trucks to the 650,000 capacity refinery in Lagos. But the spokesman Olufemi Shoneye has now clarified the price at which they bought it. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, announced that NNPCL would be the sole off-taker of refined petrol from Dangote Refinery. In the vibrant city of Lagos, where education plays a key role in shaping the future, the government made an announcement that stirred controversy conversations among parents and educators alike. The Lagos State government announced an increase in boarding fees for the model colleges, raising the fee from 35,000 naira unchanged since 2021 to 100,000 naira. Now, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education explained that the previous fee was no longer feasible in 2024 and the new rate will take effect from the 2024 and 2025 session starting on September 15, 2024. The change sparked discussions among parents and educators. In a scene of mounting concern, the federal government sounded the alarm for 11 states, warning of potential floods as neighboring Cameroon prepared to release water from the Lagdo Dam. The announcement came through a press statement from Umar Mohammed, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency. With the urgency of a gathering storm, the statement detailed that the controlled water releases would begin on Tuesday, September 17, 2024. Communities are now bracing for potential flooding, sharing information and preparing for rising waters. The former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, voiced his concern about the growing hardship gripping the nation. Hosting a delegation from the Campaign for Democracy, a civil society group, he made it clear that palliatives were not the solution to Nigeria's economic struggles. Speaking earnestly, Abdulsalami urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government to take stronger and more lasting measures to ease the burden on citizens. The former leader stressed that with soaring food prices and widespread difficulties, the country needed real, sustainable solutions and not temporary relief. And moving on to other stories, in the dark of night on September 18, 2024, a dramatic scene unfolded as EFCC operatives surrounded the Kogi government lodge in Abuja in an attempt to forcibly arrest former Governor Yahaya Bello. According to a statement from his media office led by Ohiare Michael, the anti-graft officers led siege to the lodge, firing sporadically into the air as tension mounted. This intense standoff occurred just hours after Bello had reportedly surrendered himself to the agency, raising questions and fueling speculation about the events that followed. In response to growing rumors, the Central Bank of Nigeria firmly denied reports that it had reintroduced the suspended cybersecurity levy. On Friday, September 21, 2024, the bank issued a statement clarifying the situation. Earlier, there had been speculations that the levy had been reduced from 0.5% to 0.005%, sparking confusion. The CBN also emphasized its cybersecurity guidelines for banks, other financial institutions, and payment service providers, which included appointing a Chief Information Security Officer to manage cybersecurity measures. In a heartfelt address, Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero expressed deep frustration over the 70,000 minimum wage, given the recent hike in petrol prices. Speaking at a workshop in Lagos on September 19, Ajaero accused President Bola Tinubu's government of misleading organized labor into accepting the wage to prevent a fuel price increase. He urged the government to urgently tackle the widespread hunger, poverty, and frustration gripping the nation, warning that Nigerians are suffering immensely and the situation would spiral out of control. In a moment of anticipation, the National Examination Council announced the release of the 2024 internal SSC result. At the council's headquarters in Minna, Niger State, Professor D'Anthony Ibrahim Bushishi, NECO's registrar, shared the news on Thursday. Out of over 1.3 million students who sat for the exams, 60.55%, a total of 828,284 students achieved 5 credits, including both English and mathematics. The results included 709,950 males, and 669,473 female students, marking another significant milestone in the academic journey of Nigeria's youth. In a pivotal moment for Nigeria's workforce, the federal government has issued a stern warning to private companies about the 70,000 minimum wage law. At the 13th Annual General Meeting of the Employers Association for Private Employment Agencies of Nigeria in Ikeja, Lagos, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, Alhaji Ismaila Abubakar, delivered the message. Failing to comply with this law could lead to criminal charges and potential jail time for employers. This declaration underscored the government's commitment to safeguard workers' rights in a challenging economic climate. Moving now to stories outside Nigeria but in Africa. Women's rights advocates in Ghana are calling for the quick implementation of a gender equity bill that was recently signed into law by the president. This bill, which has been in the works since 1998, faced many delays as it moved between different parliaments before finally being passed in July. Activists criticized the long waits for this important legislation. With this new law, Ghana joins several other African countries like Rwanda and Uganda, which have established rules to ensure that at least 30% of decision-making positions in government and other agencies are held by women. Thanks for watching. Join me again on the next episode of News Recap on Eyes of Africa TV, same time next week Sunday, 4 p.m. I am Tosin Adeye.